If you're thinking about buying a Tudor dive watch and you're torn between the Black Bay 58 and the Pelagos 39, I'm going to try and make you decide which one you choose. Let's get into it. Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Welcome to part 2 of the Pelagos 39 review. Today's show is dedicated in comparing the Black Bay 58 to the Pelagos 39. And for any of you that are undecided about buying either one, today will be the day you finally choose. Now, I am an owner of a Black Bay 58. This is my 3rd year of ownership. It is my favourite dive watch in my collection. It fits me and my lifestyle
to a T.
I'm not a diver, not even a desk diver, but I love sport. My work life is sport related, and so my fondness of dive watches comes from their sporty looks, their water resistance, and usually their shock resistance. Now, when Tudor released this 39mm, it really got me thinking, is this better than the Black Bay 58? Well, let me tell you right now, I am not selling the 58, and I'll explain all to you in good time. But which of these two amazing dive watches is the right fit for you? There's only one way to find out. Are you Tudor dive watch ready? Let's go! So here are the two watches in question. The sizes are very similar. 39mm diameter case, which is perfect for my 6.5-inch wrist. The Pelagos is slightly bigger because of that awesome protruding bezel. Now, straight off the bat, when I look at the Tudor Black Bay 58, it gives me the feeling of a warm embrace from your granddad in front of a warm, roaring fire. You know, that lovely, fuzzy, warm feeling that's familiar and that you're really comfortable with. When it comes to the Pelagos 39, you don't get any of that, really. There's no time for hugs here, soldier. Now do up your boots and let's get. It's got a very tooly look. Aesthetic-wise, it doesn't cling on to the past. It does have the DNA of those older Tudor Submariners, but you get this rugged, brutalistic, tool-tastic look for the modern man and woman of 2023. The Black Bay 58 is a celebration of the old Submariners. In fact, the name Black Bay 58 is a nod to a Tudor Submariner back in 1958. From the faux patina, the warm gold tones around the bezel and on the dial, to the Tudor rose on the crown. There's no celebration of history on this Pelagos 39, and it's basically the same as a modern day Rolex Submariner, in the sense that you can kind of see the old references, but it's very faint. So if you're someone that loves history and heritage, I'd buy the Black Bay 58 already. Now, holding both of these watches in your hands is like chalk and cheese. Steel and titanium. Grade 2 titanium is very strong, hard to cut and manipulate, and also
damn light.
In fact, with the same amount of links, there's a difference of 40 grams, which is definitely a chunk of change. If you've never owned a fully titanium watch before, it will take a lot of getting used to. I, for one, love the heft of stainless steel, and it's weighty enough to remind you you've got a watch on your wrist. The Pelagos 39, it is so light in fact, it feels like I'm wearing one of my Casio watches. Now, that could be a good thing, particularly when you're doing sports or you just don't like the weight of stainless steel. Me personally, I prefer stainless steel. The Pelagos is slightly thinner, but that's only because it has a flat sapphire crystal. I do prefer the boxed dome to the 58, and when I look down at the watch, it just makes me smile. We've got to talk about the bezels, haven't we? Because ever since I started my watch journey almost 10 years ago, the Black Bay 58 has the best bezel action I've ever twisted on a watch. Its use of ceramic ball bearings means you just get this amazing click. Get a listen. The very fine coin edging of the bezel sometimes is hard to grip. But step forward the Pelagos 39 and you have a bezel that protrudes over the case, big wide teeth, and even though it harnesses the same ceramic ball bearings, this bezel is much better. Have a little listen to this one. The Black Bay 58 has an aluminium insert, beautiful matte black with the gold numerals and markers. What I really love is the red triangle at 12 o'clock, another nod to the references of old. The Pelagos 39, to again show off its modernism, has a loomed bezel. It's a ceramic insert, but with a sunray finish. And when that watch gets in the light, it does remind you of those old faded bezels on those 60s and 70s Submariners.
Take two.
Let's see a little more originality, shall we? We have to talk about the lume. There's good lume on both watches, but you gotta give it to the Pelagos. The modern diver has a fantastic blue glow to it, and also we've got Lumibrite on the bezel insert. Just the bezel insert's pipped for the Black Bay 58, and we have this vintage green glow from the hands and the indices. So for legibility in a dark place, the best watch is the Pelagos. When it comes to the bracelet, it's a bit of a funny one. The Pelagos should win hands down. It's again fully titanium. The edges are a little bit sharp, but what makes this brilliant and a little bit annoying at the same time is the clasp on this 39. We have the new T-fit design, giving you 8mm of micro adjust on the fly, which I think is sensational. You don't get that on the Black Bay 58, just 3 micro adjusts, which have to be adjusted with a spring bar tool. As you can see, the clasps are totally different in size, and this is due to the Pelagos having a diver's extension, which I think is pretty pointless, especially for who this watch is being marketed to. I much prefer the size on the Black Bay 58, and overall, the rivet style links with the polished sides just give a more jewelry and refined feel than you get from this Pelagos, and I have to say I prefer it. Inside both of these watches, you pretty much have the same movements. The MT5400, same 4Hz movement, same 70-hour power reserve, both COSC certified and run like a dream. Operating the watch, it's the Pelagos that wins for me. The deeper teeth in that amazing crown, well, it's a joy to use. You can see in the light, the polishing just makes this watch a little bit more refined looking, and for me really heightens the versatility of this watch to the Pelagos. I'm not sure the Pelagos will go with a suit. I'm sure if it was supplied to James Bond he'd give it a good go, but it just doesn't feel as refined as the Black Bay 58, which is mad because this watch is over £600 more than the 58. Unfortunately, with polished watches there are war wounds there, aren't there? Little scratches in the polishing. With the scratch resistance and the full brushing of the Pelagos 39, this watch is going to look almost brand new for a long time. And for me, being quite clumsy, you gotta go with the Pelagos. Okay, so it's decision time. Which do I prefer? The Black Bay 58 or the Pelagos 39mm? The answer is, it's still the Black Bay 58 for me. Buying a brand like Tudor is about history, heritage. I want to feel like I'm holding a watch that has 100 years of heritage in it. So from the looks that gives the versatility, it's the 58 that wins for me. But as a watch, the Pelagos 39 is a better watch. I don't think you can choose between one or the other. I compare this Pelagos more to the Zinyu 50 than I would this Black Bay 58. I want this Pelagos as well as my Black Bay 58. I think both watches are different enough in looks and wearability to justify having both in the collection. But what do you think? Take a good look at your watch collection and you will be able to tell whether you love heritage, history, traditional watchmaking, or are you the type of person that just wants a good damn modern dive watch? And if you can answer one of those, you've got your choice. If you've watched all the way to the end of this show, chances are you like it. So why don't you click right here and join? And if I've got you for a few more minutes, why don't you check this show out? Oh my gosh, look at this. I haven't seen computer animation like this since Jurassic Park. Oh my God. Technically, fantastic. Go on, click it. Click it. Click it.